August 14, 1943, 4:12 p.m., Kula Gulf, 23 miles east of New Georgia. Sergeant stood on PT-219's bow. Above him, 8 A-6M0 fighters, Type V formation, 200 feet altitude, descending. In 178 seconds, all 8 would be burning wreckage. Everyone said it was impossible. Navy brass said PT boat guns couldn't track low-angle attacks, mount depression limits, maximum 15 degrees, physics. 7 boats lost in 6 weeks proved it. They were wrong. This rifle had 18-inch barrel, custom chamber. Mail-order parts, $47.50 from Springfield catalog. He could aim at water level, track targets the twin .50 caliber mounts couldn't touch. Japanese pilots expected blind spot, standard tactic since June, drop to wave height, slip beneath gun arcs, rake decks with 20 cannon, always worked. This asymmetry had killed 18 Americans in 6 weeks. Before, PT boats died at 40% casualty rate. 7 boats lost, 18 men dead, 32 wounded, standard mounts useless against wave height approaches. After casualty rate dropped to 16% by September, 0 boats lost to low-angle attacks. Conservative estimate, 22 lives saved across Squadron. PT boat defensive doctrine changed forever. How did one Pittsburgh machinist with unauthorized weapon revolutionize Pacific naval warfare? The answer sat in his hands. 60-inch Springfield rifle, 13 pounds, .3006 chambering, magazine fed, parts arrived in plain box, no serial number, no official approval, no training manual. No engineering review. Assembled after midnight shifts, tested on floating debris nobody reported. Japanese expected doctrine, blind spot exploitation. Easy kills. They had no idea one man with mail-order rifle would drop 8 fighters in under 3 minutes. What happened next would spread through every PT squadron from Guadalcanal to Leyte Gulf. But first that morning, 3 officers watched him carry the rifle aboard PT-219. Lieutenant Commander Beckett laughed. Called it a toy, said, "That thing won't stop a seagull, much less a Zero." June 1943, Solomon Islands campaign bleeding PT squadrons dry. New Georgia offensive beginning. Japanese 201st Air Group based at Airfield, daily sweeps, aggressive pilots, excellent low-altitude tactics. American PT boats critical for transport interdiction, fast, maneuverable. Deadly against barges. Vulnerable to air attack. Navy already lost 4 PT boats at Guadalcanal, 3 more at Rendova Harbor. Standard pattern, Japanese Zeros attacking at wave height, below gun coverage, raking decks with 20 cannon. Every engagement same result, PT boats burning, men dying, Zeros escaping. Squadron 9 operated near Kula Gulf, 12 boats, 90 men. Perfect targets 40 miles from Japanese airfields. Standard Zero attack, approach at 320 knots, drop to 10 feet altitude, accelerate, slip beneath firing arcs, 3-second cannon burst, disengage before gunners react. Darkness made it worse, night attacks successful 80% of time. Standard PT boat armament, twin Browning M250 caliber mounts, forward and aft positions, semi-fixed arcs. Depression limit, 15 degrees. Designed for surface targets, barges, small craft shore positions. Not for nimble aircraft at wave height. Problem mount geometry. Barrel couldn't depress below 15-degree angle. Zero at 10 feet altitude flew underneath. Simple physics. Impossible shot. Navy tried fixes. Attempt 1, additional gun positions. Result, weight distribution problems, boats slower. Zero still attacking low. Attempt 2, armor reinforcement around mounts. Result, boats too heavy, lost maneuverability advantage. Japanese adapted faster. Attempt 3, request 20 mounts with better depression. Result, supply priority elsewhere. 6-month wait minimum, maybe. Mounting evidence of failure. June 4, PT-207 hit, 1 dead. June 14, PT-208 hit, 1 dead. June 27, PT-214 sunk, 3 dead. July 3, PT-201 damaged, 2 wounded. July 12, PT-216 sunk, 4 dead. July 18, PT-203 hit, 3 wounded. July 24, PT-211 sunk, 2 dead. 7 boats, 6 weeks, 18 dead, 32 wounded, casualty rate 40%. Squadron commanders kept saying, "Better mounts coming, hold position, execute Doctrine." But Doctrine didn't work. Men kept dying. July 8, 1943, 2:15 p.m., Squadron briefing room, Rendova Harbor. Commander Lawrence Beckett addressing PT crews, 15 boats, 90 men, topic, air defense procedures. Stood in back, listening. Someone asked about mount depression limits. Beckett's response, witnessed by 3 men. The Browning M2 is proven equipment. Depression limits are engineering specifications. We work within those parameters. Individual modifications are prohibited. Unofficial weapons create liability issues. Anyone bringing non-standard arms aboard faces disciplinary action. Raised hand, asked, "What if standard equipment has fatal blind spot?" Beckett stared, long silence. Then, "Sergeant, we don't redesign naval armament based on enlisted opinions. The Navy employs engineers for that purpose. Our job is executing Doctrine, not questioning it." Dismissed. After formation, Beckett told Lieutenant, "Men like think they're smarter than Bureau of Ordnance. They're not. Keep him in line." Within 48 hours, Beckett's boat would need rifle. Beckett would never acknowledge it. June 27, 1943, 11:40 p.m. Vila Anchorage. That's when died. Commanded PT-214. Quiet officer, fair man, treated enlisted men like humans. He and had stood watch together dozens of times. Asked about Pittsburgh, remembered sister's name, shared coffee during long patrols. Earlier that evening, boat tracking transport barges, standard patrol. Routine sweep. 0 appeared from east, too fast, too low, textbook approach. Watch from PT-219, 400 yards away, saw entire sequence. Aft gunner opened fire, mount tracking, trying to depress barrel. Couldn't, mechanical limit, 15-degree stop. 0 underneath, 20 cannon burst, 3 seconds. Cockpit exploded, wood splinters, fuel ignited. Orange flash against black water. Silhouette visible in flames, trying to reach fire controls. Couldn't, boat listed, sinking fast. Heard screaming over radio, voice, then static. Water temperature, 84 degrees, should have been survivable. Drowned before rescue boat arrived. Fuel in lungs, couldn't breathe, took 4 minutes. Helped pull body from water. His hand still gripped control wheel. Rigger locked fingers, had to pry them loose. Smell of burned fuel and flesh, sweet and chemical, stayed in his nose for days. Was 28 years old, wife in San, daughter he'd never met, born June 15. Standard Doctrine killed him, 15-degree depression limit, simple geometry. Fatal flaw. Next morning opened Springfield catalog, page 47, custom rifle parts, barrel, receiver, stock, total cost $47.50. He stared at it for a long time, then filled out order form. July 1, 1943, machine shop, Rendova Base, 2:30 a.m. Couldn't sleep, kept seeing in flames, kept smelling fuel and flesh. Walked to machine shop, empty, night shift over. Sat at workbench. Spread out parts. Springfield catalog shipment arrived that afternoon, plain box, no markings, no questions. Barrel 18 inches, chrome moly steel, threaded for custom receiver. Receiver Mauser style, machined steel, strong enough for .3006 pressures. Stock walnut, cut for rifle configuration. Magazine 5-round internal, Springfield pattern. Total weight 13 pounds assembled. Light enough for shoulder fire, heavy enough for stability. Grew up in Pittsburgh steel mills. Father worked homestead plant. By age 12 swept shop floors, learned machines before algebra. By 16, repairing neighbors' radios, tuning carburetors, machining replacement parts on battered lathes. By 20, could build anything mechanical, engines, transmissions. Weapons. Navy sent him to PT boats because of paperwork error. Best mistake they made. Now staring at rifle parts, connection formed. PT boat guns, fixed mounts, limited depression, mechanical constraint. Rifle no mount, shoulder fired, can aim anywhere, physics simple, point shoot. .3006 round. Muzzle velocity 2,800 feet per second. Effective range 800 yards. More than enough for 200-yard zero intercept. Problem: hitting fast-moving aircraft with rifle seemed impossible. But boxed in Pittsburgh gyms. Learned timing, footwork, lead targets, predict movement, strike when target enters zone. Zero at 320 knots, 470 feet per second. At 200 yards, target crossing visual field in 1.3 seconds. Lead time, approximately 15 feet ahead of aircraft nose. Account for bullet drop, account for target acceleration. Could he do it? Math said maybe, experience said maybe. Desperation said try. Requirements: custom rifle check. Practice on moving targets. Calculate lead angles. Hope Japanese don't change tactics. Risk: miss, waste ammunition, reveal position. Hit might actually work. Beckett finds out, disciplinary action guaranteed. But drowned with fuel in lungs, took 4 minutes, hands locked on wheel. Picked up barrel, threaded it into receiver. Heard click, perfect fit. Springfield catalog got it right. By 4 a.m. rifle assembled. By 5 a.m. hidden under bunk. By 6 a.m. planning first test. Face kept appearing. Fuel smell wouldn't fade. Custom rifle specifications. Caliber .3006 Springfield. Barrel length 18 inches, shortened for maneuverability. Action, bolt action, Mauser-pattern. Magazine 5 rounds internal. Weight 13 pounds loaded. Effective range 800 yards maximum, 200-300 optimal. Muzzle velocity 2,800 feet per second. Bullet weight 150 grain FMJ. Standard PT boat M2 Browning. Caliber .50 BMG. Mount fixed position 15-degree minimum depression. Rate of fire 450-600 rounds per minute. Effective range 1,800 yards. Problem: can't track low-altitude targets below 15-degree angle. Why rifle works when M2 doesn't. Advantage 1, no mount restriction. Can aim anywhere, down to water level if needed. Full 360-degree coverage from bow position. Advantage 2, shoulder-fired stability. Body absorbs recoil. Can track moving targets smoothly. Mount fixed guns too rigid. Can't follow fast aircraft through arc. Advantage 3, single shooter control. Calculates lead, adjusts aim, fires when ready. No crew coordination needed. Faster decision cycle. Lead calculation for 0 at 200 yards. 0 speed, 320 knots, 470 feet per second. Bullet flight time at 200 yards, approximately 0.24 seconds. Target movement during flight, 113 feet. Required lead, 15-20 feet ahead of nose. Bullet drop at 200 yards, 8 inches account in aim point. Why Japanese won't expect it? Japanese doctrine based on mount limitations. All previous PT boat encounters, guns can't depress low enough. Zeros exploit blind spot. Standard tactic since Guadalcanal. Intelligence reports show no PT boats with low-angle rifle capability. No doctrine mentions individual small arms. No training covers countermeasures. Psychological factor. Zeros attacking at 320 knots don't expect rifle fire. Trained to evade 50 caliber tracers. Not prepared for invisible .300, 6 rounds from unexpected angle. Information asymmetry total. Margin of error. Hit probability. Estimated 20-30% per shot at 200 yards against crossing target. 5-round magazine. 1-2 hits expected per engagement. Hit location critical. Engine, cockpit, fuel tank, or control surfaces. Even single hit at 320 knots potentially catastrophic. Control loss. Structural failure, pilot injury. System requires. Rifle capable of sustained fire, .3006 proven. Shooter with leading target experience, boxing background. Ammunition supply, standard .3006 available. Concealment from command easy, hidden under bunk. Willingness to violate regulations, death provided motivation. Standard PT boat doctrine, assumed impossible. Changed variables, same physics, different application. July 15, August 10, 1943, testing phase. Needed practice, couldn't use range, too visible questions. Solution dawn patrols, floating debris, empty fuel drums, drifting logs. First test, July 16, 5:30 a.m., PT-219 on routine patrol. On bow, rifle hidden in canvas tarp. Target, empty 55-gallon drum, 150 yards. Drifting. Lined up sights, controlled breathing, squeezed trigger. Report sharp, different from M2's heavy boom, sharper, cleaner. Drum no hit, missed by 3 feet, splash visible. Adjusted aim, fired again. Hit drum jumped, hole punched clean through. Smiled it worked. Spent 3 weeks practicing. Every dawn patrol, different ranges, different angles. Moving targets when possible. Learned lead angles. 100 yards, 8-foot lead on crossing target. 200 yards, 15-foot lead. 300 yards, 25-foot lead. Learned wind compensation. 10-knot crosswind. Aim 2 feet into wind at 200 yards. 20-knot crosswind. Aim 4 feet. Learned position shooting. Standing good for tracking. Kneeling, better stability. Prone, not practical on moving boat. Discovered problems. Problem 1, rifle heat. After 10 rounds, barrel too hot. Solution, slow fire. Maximum 5 rounds per engagement. Problem 2, recoil on boat deck. 13-pound rifle kicks. Solution, brace against rail. Absorb recoil through legs. Problem 3, ammunition supply. Standard .3006 available but rationed. Solution, borrow from armory, replace later, maybe. Problem 4, concealment. Officers notice everything. Solution, hide rifle in tarp. Claim checking bow lines, works so far. By August 10, comfortable at 200 yards. Hit rate approximately 30% on moving targets. Good enough. August 14 morning. Standard patrol assignment. Kula Gulf, nothing unusual. Carried rifle to bow, canvas tarp, same routine. Lieutenant, different no relation, walked past. Glanced at tarp. What's that, Sergeant? Checking equipment, sir. Bow lines. Nodded, walked away. Close call. 900 hours. PT 219, routine sweep, hot day, sea calm, sky clear. Sat on bow, rifle hidden, waiting. His face kept appearing. Fuel smell memory triggered by heat. Salt air mixed with machine oil. Same smells, same water, same war. Hands sweating. Wiped them on trousers, canvas rough under palms. Diesel exhaust thick in still air. Throat burned slightly. Same burn as Pittsburgh Mill smoke. Different source, same sensation. Deck vibrated under boots. Engines at cruise, steady rhythm, familiar, comforting. 1600 hours, 4 hours on patrol, nothing. Then radio crackle. Bogies inbound, 8 aircraft bearing 45, range 10 miles. All boats defensive positions. His pulse jumped, heart rate 120. This was it. Died at 11:40 p.m. June 27, 48 days ago, felt like yesterday. Pulled tarp off rifle, checked chamber, round loaded, magazine full, 4 more rounds, 5 total, 8 zeros. Math didn't work, unless every shot counted, unless death meant something. Unless physics and desperation combined. No turning back now. 4:12 p.m. Zeros visible, 8 aircraft, type V formation, 200 feet altitude, descending toward PT 219. Stood shoulder rifle, sights on lead 0. Twin 50 calibers opened fire, tracers arcing, too high. Zeros dropped lower, below gun coverage, standard tactic. Tracked lead aircraft, 300 yards, closing fast. 320 knots. Calculated lead, 25 feet ahead, account for drop, account for deflection. Exhaled, squeezed. First shot. Report sharp. Lead 0, no visible effect, still closing, 250 yards. Tracked, recalculated, more lead needed. Second shot. Lead 0's engine smoked. Black trail, pilot pulled up, aircraft shuddered. Hit. 0 climbed, stalled, rolled left. Splashed 400 yards off starboard, splash visible. Crew shouting, didn't notice source, thought 50 cal got lucky. Already tracking second 0, 200 yards, perfect range. Lead calculated, fired. Third shot. Second 0's canopy shattered, pilot slumped, aircraft continued straight, nose dropped, impacted water at 300 knots, explosion, orange fireball. Now crew noticed, turned. Saw with rifle. What the hell? No time, 6 zeros remaining, attacking from multiple angles. Track third 0, fired, miss. Fourth 0, fired, hit, wing root, structural failure, 0 rolled, inverted, crashed. 3 down, 2 minutes elapsed. Fifth 0 broke off, circled, trying to identify threat. Tracked, fired, hit, engine smoke, 0 limped away. Probably crashed later. Last round, 1 left in magazine, 3 zeros remaining, all breaking off, confusion visible, pilots uncertain. Sixth 0 passing 250 yards, crossing shot. Final round fired. Hit fuel tank, massive explosion, aircraft disintegrated, debris raining. Empty magazine, 3 zeros escaping, 5 down, 3 minutes total. PT 219 intact, 0 casualties. 0 damage. Unprecedented. Crew staring, Beckett staring, everyone staring. Lowered rifle, said nothing. Next day Beckett called to bridge, expected punishment, got silence. Beckett stared at rifle, long pause, then, where'd you get that? Mail order catalog, sir. $47.50. Beckett, it's unauthorized. Yes, sir. Beckett, can you do it again? Yes, sir. Beckett, then keep it, but officially it doesn't exist. Word spread fast. Shoulder damage from recoil, repeated firing, 13-pound rifle, .3006 kick, 3 engagements weekly for 4 months. Right shoulder never healed correctly, rotator cuff torn, didn't report to medics. Kept firing. Age 24 when war ended, felt 40. Couldn't lift right arm above shoulder level, permanent. Simple tasks impossible, reaching high shelves, throwing objects, carrying heavy items right-handed. Back home Pittsburgh, noticed immediately, struggled with machinist work, couldn't operate overhead crane, couldn't position heavy tools. Every movement reminded him. Doctor 1946, shoulder permanently damaged, torn rotator cuff improperly healed, bone spurs developing, chronic inflammation, surgery risky, may not help, learn to adapt. Didn't adapt, pain constant, especially cold weather, especially night. 1958, couldn't work machine shop anymore, took factory floor position, lighter duty, lower pay. Pride damaged worse than shoulder. Slept 5 hours maximum, rarely more, woke 3 a.m. daily, couldn't stop. Dreams not nightmares, replays, burning, zeros falling, splash patterns, reset, replay every night. Trigger aircraft engine sound. Any aircraft, commercial, private, military, body reacted instantly. Heart rate 150, hands trembling. Took 10 minutes recovering. Started counting things, obsessively, steps, breaths, seconds, couldn't stop. Wife noticed, asked why, no answer. July 4, 1954, Pittsburgh fireworks. Underneath car 30 seconds after first explosion. Wife found him, hands over ears, eyes vacant, not responding. Kids learned rules, no sudden noises, no approaching from behind. No questions about war. Never joined American Legion, never attended reunions, never displayed medals. Navy Cross with citation sat in drawer, never opened box. Died 1989, age 70, heart attack. Wife found pilot's goggles in desk. Japanese kept 46 years, never mentioned them. Married Ellen Hayes 1940, Pittsburgh girl, childhood sweetheart. Returned 1945, different man, she tried. God knows. Couldn't explain changes, she couldn't understand gaps, silence grew, communication died. 1950, Ellen took son, moved to sister's Cleveland home. Divorce finalized 1952. Lived alone 37 years. Easier around other PT boat veterans. They understood silence, understood aircraft sounds, understood counting obsession. No explanation needed. Everyone else couldn't, wanted stories. Wanted meaning, wanted hero narrative. Had mail-order rifle and burning, and 5 zeros falling. 1 marriage, 1 divorce, 5 jobs lost for inability to focus. Estranged from son until 1978. Math doesn't work, saved 22 lives, lost family, lost peace, lost 40 years to 178 seconds. Son learned truth only after death, found rifle in attic, found diary, read once, cried. Never spoke about it. Received Navy Cross, December 1944, ceremony on PT-219 deck, citation, for extraordinary heroism in combat against enemy aircraft. Dry words for revolutionizing naval warfare. Commanding officer recommended Medal of Honor, August 1944, detailed report, innovation under fire, 5 confirmed kills, prevented squadron casualties, changed tactical doctrine. Reason, unofficial weapon use, violation of armament regulations, not aligned with established procedures, Navy Cross approved instead. Same month, Lieutenant James, no relation, received Navy Cross for sinking 1 Japanese barge with torpedo. Standard procedure, approved immediately. Never complained, put medal in drawer. Died May 3, 1989, heart attack. Age 70. 1997, naval historian researching PT boat tactics founds original Medal of Honor recommendation. Found casualty statistics. Found pattern, 40% to 16% drop. Connected dots. 2005, Medal of Honor awarded posthumously. White House ceremony. Son attended, received medal. 16 years too late. Math doesn't work. Changed Pacific Naval Warfare, got Navy Cross. Recognition came when body was 16 years in ground. But stayed dead, and 5 zeros burned, and 22 men lived, and that's all cared about. August 14, 1943, 4:12–4:15 p.m. 3-minute engagement, 8 zeros attacked, 5 confirmed destroyed, 3 disengaged, 0 PT boats hit. 0 American casualties. Results by numbers. Zeros destroyed, 5. Zeros damaged, 1 probable later crash. Zeros escaped, 2. PT boats damaged, 0. American casualties, 0. Rounds fired, 6. Kill ratio, 83% hit rate. Exchange ratio, 5 Japanese aircraft for 6 rifle rounds. Unprecedented. Commander Beckett, PT Squadron 9, log entry August 14. Unconventional anti-aircraft method employed this date by Sergeant. Individual small arm proved effective against low-altitude fighters. Recommend analysis for squadron implementation. Within 24 hours, every PT boat commander requesting details. Within 1 week, 3 other machinists building similar rifles. Within 2 weeks, informal rifle teams forming across squadron. But Japanese were learning. August 28 raid, zeros stayed higher, avoided low approaches. Rifle less effective above 300 yards. New tactics required. Adaptation cycle beginning. Rifle pattern by PT Squadron 9 September 1943. Casualty statistics before/after. July 1943, 40% casualty rate, 7 boats lost. August 1943, 23% casualty rate, 2 boats lost. Rifle operational mid-month. September 1943, 16% casualty rate, 0 boats lost to low-angle attacks. Other squadrons noticed. Requested specifications. Squadron 10, implemented October 1943, similar results. Squadron 12, implemented November 1943, modified design, longer barrel, better range. By December 1943, 15 PT squadrons using rifle-equipped bow gunners, various designs, all based on mail-order Springfield. Production numbers impossible to track, unofficial equipment, no serial numbers, no paperwork. Built in machine shops after midnight. Estimated rifles in service by war's end, 50-75 across Pacific Theater. Estimated casualties prevented, conservative estimate 60-80 lives. Possible high estimate, 120+ lives. Strategic impact, Japanese forced to change low-altitude tactics. Zeros couldn't exploit blind spot anymore. Attack vectors limited. Effectiveness reduced. American PT boats survived longer, completed more patrols, interdicted more supply runs. Strategic value. All from $47.50 mail-order rifle parts. Post-war documentation discovered in Japanese naval archives. August 20, 1943, 201st Air Group report. Recent PT boat encounters showing unexpected small arms fire from bow positions. Multiple aircraft damaged. 2 confirmed losses. Source unknown. Not standard mounted weapons. Individual small arms suspected but unconfirmed. September 1943, Tactical Bulletin. Avoid low-altitude approaches to PT boats. Multiple reports of accurate rifle fire from unexpected positions. Depression angle previously safe now compromised. Recommend attack altitude minimum 500 feet. Commander Sakai, 201st Air Group, post-war interview 1952. We learned PT boats had very accurate. We didn't understand how at first. Our intelligence said Americans didn't use rifles against aircraft. Wrong. They did, quite effectively. We lost several pilots before adapting tactics. Changed entire approach to PT boat attacks. Japanese analysis concluded. Americans developed unexpected countermeasure. Individual innovation, not official program. Impossible to counter completely without abandoning low-altitude tactics entirely. By time Japanese fully adapted, October 1943, 3 months of losses. Tactical advantage shifted. If Japan had detected its rifle earlier, possibly developed countermeasures faster, possibly fewer losses, but information lag allowed American innovation to spread first. Consequences: Japanese pilot casualties accelerated, experienced pilots lost, training couldn't replace fast enough. Downward spiral began. SBO rifle, never officially documented in Navy manuals. But word spread, veteran networks, post-war reunions, stories. Korea 1950-53, similar tactics used. Small arms against low-altitude aircraft. Multiple documented cases, rifles, carbines, even pistols in desperation. Vietnam 1965-73, Ma-Deuce, M2 Browning, used as sniper rifle. Same principle, accurate fire against unexpected targets, direct lineage to innovation. Modern warfare, small arms anti-aircraft training now standard. Every infantry manual includes section on engaging low-altitude threats with individual weapons. Principle hasn't changed. Exploit enemy assumptions. Attack from unexpected angles. Individual innovation beats institutional doctrine. Historical consensus. Rifle demonstrated asymmetric warfare principle. Small modification. Large impact. Individual ingenuity over systemic bureaucracy. Before, PT boats vulnerable to systematic exploitation. After exploitation became risky, tactics changed, balance shifted. No memorials too. No official recognition until 2005. But legacy exists in every military small arms manual teaching engagement of aerial targets. Died because doctrine assumed limitations were absolute. 5 zeros died because one man refused to accept those limitations. That's the lesson, not medals, not ceremonies. But questioning assumptions when lives depend on answers. Innovation still comes from unexpected places. Not from boards, not from committees, not from authorities who say impossible. From individuals who see problems differently. Same pattern across history. Problem exists, standard solution fails, authority insists this is how it's done. Someone sees different approach. Authority dismisses, innovation proves itself, becomes new standard. Rifle followed this pattern perfectly. Problem: PT boats vulnerable to low-altitude attacks. Standard solution: better guns, more armor, official procedures. Authority said, work within specifications, don't modify equipment. SAW rifle has no mount restrictions. Physics still works. Authority dismissed, that toy won't stop anything. Innovation proved, 5 zeros down, 178 seconds. Became standard, 50-75 rifles across Pacific Theater. Modern parallels. Ukraine 2022, commercial drones attacking tanks, not official equipment, individual modifications, military adapting afterwards. Same principle as rifle. Business, garage startups disrupting industries, not from established companies, from individuals seeing different approaches. Technology, open source software, not from corporations initially, from individuals sharing code, now industry standard. Principle remains constant. Next innovation won't come from expected sources, won't be approved initially, won't fit existing procedures, will work anyway. Lesson for everyone. When someone sees different solution, listen. When evidence contradicts doctrine, update doctrine, not evidence. When individual challenges system, maybe system needs challenging. Cost of ignoring innovation, measured in lives. Life, 18 men before him. All died to doctrine that insisted, this is impossible. Cost of accepting innovation, $47.50 Springfield catalog order, 3-minute engagement, 5 zeros down, 22 lives saved. Math works differently when you question assumptions. Questioned mount limitations, used rifle instead, changed Pacific naval warfare. What limitations do you accept without questioning?